Bernalillo County is facing major budget cuts in the wake of investments, made by Treasurer Manny Ortiz. The County Commission gave Ortiz a no confidence vote this week, and there is a push to start a recall process. Ortiz and his predecessor, Patrick Padilla, are under fire for putting property tax receipts into long-term investments that critics have dubbed too risky. The county has had to sell some of these investments at a loss just to keep the cash flowing, but now it looks like the budget cuts of up to $25 million are looming. That could mean layoffs and cuts in county programs. Mr. Ortiz has refused to admit mistakes, but has shifted the investment policy to focus on shorter-term options. Whitney KRQE had an interesting story from our former colleague Matt Grubbs that the state Securities Division is starting an investigation in the Treasurer's office in Bernalillo County for this. And we can only sit here tonight and talk about a sense of things. We don't have all the facts quite yet. But when you
Matt's
watch,
got a lot of them on the website.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's interesting watching Mr. Padilla, Mr. Ortiz, that kind of bounce the ball around like this is between brokers. This is just kind of how it's done. I've not done anything. Your sense of how this is shaping up so far?
Well, like we were saying at the break, my feeling and opinion about this whole story changed drastically after I read Matt Grubbs and Jeff Proctor's story.
Yep.
I mean, their ability to dig into this was fantastic because, and I encourage anybody to go to the KRQE website and read through it, because it answers all the questions that I had about this. And there were so many questions. One, where was the oversight of the treasurer? Even though he's duly elected, he answers to the board, and the board is the county commission. And how is it that even the treasurer can be making long-term investments as a strategy and not have anybody question it until there's a problem with it?
That's right.
I mean, to me, I think the county commission has a lot of exposure here, and you could tell in the earlier media coverage that they're basically throwing him under the bus, and that was my impression of them. I'm like, this guy's got a side to his story as well, and that might have been the fact that he was making the county more money off of these long-term investments than if he was doing it in a different direction. And even though they might have been losing more money when they had to opt out of those investments and had to pay the penalties, it was probably less. I mean, in the end, I think he was probably making more money for the county. I would likely give him that.
30-something million he's made, they say in the net. I mean, that he's actually done a good job making the money, and that's part of the reason the commission says they weren't asking these questions. We were seeing the bank
Giving him
book
a
go up, go
pat
up,
on the
go
back,
up,
yeah.
and then when things started changing, we started seeing money go. The problem is that they have an exposure that, in a day they could lose 40 million.
It's funny that word exposure has now come up twice, and our attorneys at the table both physically reacted. It's interesting because someone is very exposed here on a very serious note, Laura. We don't know what they'll find at the division if they look into these things, but traditionally county finances can be kind of problematic in New Mexico over time. And your sense of this so far from what you've seen, again, that's all we can work on tonight is our sense of things. But what was your sense of this as you watched the Grubbs Proctor
I think it
story?
smells really bad. I think it definitely points some fingers and I think calls for some accountability. One of the biggest concerns I have about this whole thing is that Patrick Padilla is the former treasurer of Bernalillo County, and he was hired essentially as someone in the office by the incoming treasurer. And there needs to be a very clear rule that should not be allowed.
And that's
I think
not
in
a party
general.
thing. I want to make that. I mean,
No.
we'd have
That's
the
a good
same
point.
problem with the
Right.
Republicans that the sheriff runs for sheriff, then you run for sheriff, and I'm your under sheriff,
Right.
and then I run for sheriff.
I mean,
You know,
that
we
to
do
me
this. It just
signals that
doesn't-
the fix is in
That's
somehow
right.
to
That's
do
right.
that, because you're not having any turnover. You're essentially allowing a person who just
same
stepped
two
off the
people to
job,
make
right,
all
the
the
same two people to
decisions.
continue
Right.
to make those decisions. And I think that's pulling the wool over the electorate's eyes.
Interesting.
And so keeping him in there. So he was the person actually who was responding to Matt Grubbs' interview questions,
that what
and
you would call
not
that?
and not the treasurer himself.
Right.
He's the one who was elected,
clean
not Patrick Padilla.
distinction.
So I think in general, just in terms of holding himself to a high standard as an elected official, I think he's failed at that level, and that's bad. You don't have somebody else answer your questions and not answer them well.
That's right. The smell test is in effect at that
exactly.
point.
So to me, it's a real problem.
Dan, interestingly, a lot of us in this world have worked on commission.
Yes.
It's an interesting, you have, there's a lot of ways to do this. I found the part of the story very interesting that the broker left one firm, went to another, and the money followed him. And the reason I bring up commission is it's very common in this world for people working in a commission. The reason you get the gig is you tell them, I can bring over this account. I can bring these guys
Yeah.
over. That increases your values, which is why you get hired.
Definitely, it
You know,
does.
yeah.
It does. I mean, when you're in the commission sales field, that's what it's about. It's the amount of revenue you can generate. I think it's problematic that he was moving this money, and apparently we were paying these fees and these penalties that we didn't need to pay.
That's right.
Had we not done that. And I think it just highlights, to me, kind of a different issue, but it highlights the fact that the voters in this state, these down ballot elections that we just kind of throw out and say, you know, we're going to let anybody run. It does, and this is not a party thing. We're going to let any Tom, Dick, and Harry go run for the office. We're going to let any hack that we want to have this position. And then we come back and we find out that, you know, well, they lost us millions of dollars here, or they implemented this horrible policy because they never were in charge of a prison before. And you say, you know, you kind of want to say to the voters, you know, you're getting what you paid for. You know, you're getting what you did this to yourself. I mean, it seems like these down ballot races, these treasurer races, places like that, you know, it really should be more about qualifications and people telling you what they can do, and it doesn't seem like it is in New Mexico.
Right, short on time, I'm going to slip Sophie in here. Your thoughts, again, sense of things. I agree with Laura, I'm sure most people would. It smells bad.
So, well,
but
one thing I want to point out now is the repercussions for Bernalillo County, which is, you know, they have a major budget shortfall, and this is not a good time for them to be cutting back. 20 to 25 million just getting sucked out of the budget.
That's right.
That's terrifying.
Well, the state and the feds are cutting money from
Right. I mean, we're already talking about where are we going to find funds for everything else that needs to get done, and suddenly the county is looking at making drastic cuts.
Yeah.
This is going to be bad for the economy of this county.
Right.
Yeah.
We may revisit this next week and the week after. This is going to be very interesting as it reveals more and more.